So you're thinking about moving to Central Oregon, but you're not sure if it's Bend, if it's Redmond, if it's Sisters, if it's Lapine, Prineville, Tumalo, Terrebonne. It's somewhere in Central Oregon, but you're just still not quite sure where the best fit for you is. Well, in this video, we're going to unpack some things and explore what may be the best place in Central Oregon altogether. So if this video sounds like it's for you, stick around because we're going to be getting after this right now. Hey, if this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living, eating, sleeping, working, playing, the good and the bad of living in Central Oregon, then subscribe to the channel and tap that notification bell below so you can be the first to know about the current market here in Bend and all of Central Oregon. My name is Ryan and I've lived in Bend for over 30 years. My business partner, Zach, and I, we get calls and texts every day from people just like you looking for help on making their smooth move to Central Oregon or anywhere else in the area. Whether you move in 9 days or 90 days, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, or even set up a Zoom meeting. We'd be happy to help you make that smooth move to Bend or anywhere else in Central Oregon. Okay, so today's video is a little unique from other videos. I actually went into this video with the intention of looking into Redmond and all of its negativity associated with it, but I couldn't find it. Now, I'll admit, I didn't look that hard for it after I went to my one resource and a second resource to find out all the negative connotations and negative reviews about the area. I just couldn't find any. So I'm deciding to pivot right now with this video, and we're going to be discussing why Redmond, according to others' opinions, may be the best place for anybody looking to move to Central Oregon. So without further ado, let's just jump right into the content to give you some perspective from other people who have commuted from other areas to Redmond and give you that idea as to why Redmond may be the best overall fit in Central Oregon. So I'm going to share my screen and we are going to start this process right away. So I'm at niche.com. It's a great website. It's a great resource, has all kinds of information about any city, any region in the country that you want to learn more about. We specifically specialize in Deschutes County and Central Oregon as we cater to our clients and they're commuting from wherever it is to relocating into Central Oregon, the Bend, Redmond, Sun River, Lapine, Sisters, Redmond, the list goes on and on. But today it's all about Redmond. So what we're going to do now is I've already got the page pulled up. This is the review section of Niche. And you can see here, there's 98 total reviews. Redmond has 4 stars, and I'm going into this completely blind. I haven't read any of these yet. We're just going to kind of read them, and I will discuss what my thoughts are on somebody else's opinion of the area of Redmond. Because again, like I said, I was going to try and find some of the negativity associated with living in Redmond so I could unpack it and kind of dissect why somebody feels negative about a certain part of Redmond or living in Redmond, and I couldn't find it. So maybe we'll just learn that Redmond is just a completely awesome place to live, and so that's the goal here. And this will give you some perspective from other people that have recently moved from out of town and into the Central Oregon area, specifically into Redmond. So let's just get after it right now. We've got the first 5-star review. It's right here. It's at our disposal. Let's read it and take a quick look at what's going on. I live in Redmond and it's close enough to Bend to enjoy the breweries and food carts, but without the cost of living. Redmond has several spots that have turned into my go-to for a drink for a quick bite to grab. It's also close enough to Pine Nursery Dog Park that I am able to take my dog there every day without worrying about a long commute. The traffic isn't bad either. I used to live in Portland and the traffic here on a bad day is nothing like it on a good day in Portland. So that's what's interesting. So this person lives in Redmond and they're talking about the breweries. They're talking about the places to go get a drink, the places to take their dogs, the dog park. The Pine Nursery is on the north end of Bend. There's a lot of things going on in the north end of Bend right now. Costco is going to be showing up in the north end of Bend in the next couple of years. A Fred Meyer shopping center is going to be going in there. There's a lot of development on the north end. Home Depot, Best Buy, Lowe's, the Sportsman's Warehouse, Target. All those stores are on the north end of town, just about 15 minutes from Redmond right now. If you're going into the heart of Bend, we're talking about a 30 to 40-minute drive now, depending on where you're going. If you're coming from Redmond, going into, say, the downtown Bend area, or the road to the Mount Bachelor, the road to the west side of town, the south side of town, things on the east side, Costco, Pilot Butte, those are all about 30-minute drives now for people that are coming from Redmond. So this person is super excited about living in Redmond because it's a slower pace of lifestyle. There's not too much traffic. It's not too far from Bend, and yet they don't have to worry about the traffic that maybe Bend would have if they were living in Bend, because it's a little bit faster pace, a little bit more condensed in terms of population in Bend. So that person loves Redmond for what it is. It's not too far from the big city that is Bend, but at the same time, they get the small town vibes and the small town slow pace of lifestyle in Redmond with all the beautiful sunshine and the amenities surrounding the town. So great review there. Let's go to the next one. I've lived in Redmond for 8 years, and I have never loved a place so much. Diversity holds strong as we house anyone from anywhere. Beautiful mountains and trees surround us, and our roots grow fast and deep, never making you want to leave. Summer air brings travelers, but not as much as the towns near. Rivers carve the ground and give water to our surrounding wildlife. That's just Redmond. Now, this person's lived here for about 8 years, so they moved here back in roughly 2015. Great time to move here. Redmond's always been like on the mend as far as the upswing goes when it comes to growth in Oregon. It's one of the fastest growing towns in Oregon, as is Bend. She makes mention of Bend being the town nearby that gets a lot more of the tourist attraction and attention. Redmond is kind of in that realm, but not nearly at the level that Bend is. So again, Bend and Redmond are all one and the same as it relates to the Central Oregon lifestyle. Redmond's 45 minutes to Mount Bachelor. Bend happens to be 20 minutes to Mount Bachelor. Redmond is 15 minutes to Smith Rock, where Bend is 45 minutes to Smith Rock. So it's not all about where Bend is in proximity to certain amenities. Redmond's also closer to certain things, more close than Bend is to certain things, just like the case in point with Smith Rock. Okay, so there's great advantages to living in Redmond because, again, the Central Oregon lifestyle applies to anybody that lives in Central Oregon, no matter what town or what part of the region that you're living in. Redmond just happens to be a slower pace of life. The cost of living is much less too. So there's huge advantages to living in Redmond and making that the primary town or the primary location that you consider moving to as you do your due diligence when looking into moving to the Central Oregon region. It doesn't just have to be Bend. Next one, Redmond is full of parks and natural oases in the middle of Central Oregon desert. Many businesses are local, which creates an atmosphere of community. The Dry Canyon, which has a dog park, frisbee golf course, and running/riding trail, runs through some of the town. It's a mix of close suburbs and wide pastures. So the Dry Canyon is something that we've covered before, and that is like a amenity unlike anything I've ever seen. Bend certainly does not have it. It is literally what it's titled, a dry canyon that goes right through the center of Redmond. It's about 3 miles long, and it just goes right through. There's bridges that go over the top, and what the city of Redmond has done is created a park out of it, and there's just all kinds of things to do. There's baseball fields in there, there's football fields in there, there's tennis courts, there's pickleball courts, there's an off-leash dog park, there are riding trails, there's a paved path that goes through there, there's a big frisbee golf course that goes through there, but it's several miles of paths and walkways right through the city, and which is unique is like on the entire ridgeline on each side of the Dry Canyon are houses too. So you can literally, if you're lucky, you can buy a house and live in a house that has a backyard view of this canyon that is the Dry Canyon in Redmond. A truly remarkable feature that you couldn't invent or just create anywhere else. It is unique to Redmond, and nothing else like it exists in Central Central Oregon, a great outdoor amenity right in the city. Something, like I said, that Bend doesn't have, but again, it's a great feature. It's open to anybody that wants to access it, but it gives Redmond a lot of character. It's a desert oasis. The Dry Canyon goes right through the center of the city. A very unique feature that, like I said, could not be just created out of nowhere. It just happens to be there. It's all natural and it's one of a kind. Next one, I really enjoy living in Central Oregon. The opportunity to take time away to explore the outdoors is important, whether it's going skiing, hiking, or kayaking. Okay, so this is kind of a general 5-star review for anybody living in Central Oregon. So like I said earlier, a couple minutes ago, the Central Oregon lifestyle applies to anybody that lives in Central Oregon, no matter where you're living. You don't have to be in Bend to go to Mount Bachelor. You can be in Redmond and still get there in a very timely manner. Again, Redmond is closer to Hoodoo ski area, which is on the Santiam Pass on the way to Eugene, Salem, and Portland than Bend is. And so again, Redmond is perfectly located where it's at right now. It's a shorter drive to Portland. It's a shorter drive to the airport. It's a shorter drive to Lake Billy Chinook, and it's a shorter drive to Prineville Reservoir than Bend is. Okay, perfectly situated in the center of Central Oregon. Redmond has a absolutely fantastic location that allows access to everything that the Central Oregon outdoor lifestyle has to offer. Okay, next one. Redmond is the place where if you drive around just waving to people, they will always wave back, which seems silly, but that was the first test I performed when I moved here to see how friendly the people I was surrounded by are. This feels much more like a small community, even though it's growing at a very fast rate. You feel safe when you walk down the street and you don't feel the need to look over your shoulder. And I used to live near Portland, Oregon area, so I know the feeling of being unsafe. I would recommend Redmond to anyone looking for a small town feel without it actually being small. Plus, being so close to many great outdoor activities, it really is the best location. Again, a lot of people that are moving to Redmond and to Bend, they're coming from Portland, they're coming from Seattle, they're coming from San Francisco, they're coming from Los Angeles, they're coming from Texas, maybe Boise. They're coming from larger metroplexes than what Central Oregon is. And so if you dissect Central Oregon into two, you got Bend, which is the big city, you got Redmond, which is the smaller town of the two. It still feels like a very small town, even though the infrastructure is there for all the things that we generally need. Now, Redmond will feel like an island sometimes, even though you can go to Bend, the big city, to get some things that you otherwise wouldn't be able to get in Redmond. But at the same time, we are isolated on our side of the mountains. We're on the east side of the Cascade Range, and so the rest of Oregon's population resides in the Willamette Valley. That's where 75% of the population of Oregon lives, is in that climate over there, a rainy climate. It's a much different lifestyle over there than it is here in the desert side of the east side of the Cascades. But again, this person loves the small town vibes. They feel very safe here compared to the big city that they came from in Portland, and that is to be respected, and that's true. There's certainly that feeling and that vibe that you get when you're in Redmond, where you get to know people and you recognize people that you know on a pretty regular basis, because it is small enough to be able to see people you know on a daily basis, whether you're planning on it or not. And that's unique. And that's something that a lot of people that are moving here to the area are looking for, is that sense of community and that feeling of living in a smaller town than where they came from. All right, we'll do one or two more and then we will call it a video. But so far, everything's very positive here. Again, I was trying to find the negativity associated with this so I could do a follow-up video to the Ben Sucks video that I did a couple weeks ago. But there was just nothing negative on this platform that I could use. So I decided to just talk about all the great things that people love about Redmond, especially those that are moving from other areas. As you guys are considering moving yourself, this kind of gives you some perspective. Okay, Redmond is honestly a great place to be in. There are many places that you can walk through and several places to go to in the city. It can sometimes feel like a small town, but has some aspects of a big city as well. Okay. Kind of similar to the previous review, right? It's a small town, but there's certainly the infrastructure to accommodate all the big city needs. It's definitely going to be more leaning towards a small town. If you want to go to Bend for a little bit more of a city vibe, okay, you can, but Bend again is still a small town itself compared to the real city life, big city metroplexes that people often move here from. But you can get basically anything you need in this area. We've got everything in place already as is, so you can feel like you're living in a small town while also having access to all the big city amenities that you'd otherwise need. And so that's what's unique about this area. All right, let's see. The town is just big enough. Has a Walmart, only 20 minutes from our big city Bend. Everyone waves to you when driving by or walking. Lots of parks and outdoor activities. Again, another great review, very friendly, big enough city, also close enough to the bigger city. Redmond is a great town. It really is. 2 high schools in place. Just a very great sense of community. People are very proud to live in Redmond, and they're proud of their town. Let's do one more, and then we can move on. My husband and I moved to Redmond, Oregon, a better opportunity to grow and raise a family. So far, we have experienced a peaceful neighborhood with a delightful nightlife downtown. Great. So, small town vibes, slow pace of life, great place for these people to raise their family, but also having options for nightlife. And if they want to commute down to the big city of Bend, they can totally do that too, which has plenty more offerings when it comes to nightlife and whatnot. And so I know a lot of people in Redmond, they love Redmond. They have a sense of pride for living in Redmond. They'd rather live in Redmond than in Bend. But they also like taking advantage of the opportunity to go to Bend on occasion as maybe a reason for a date night or for some certain shopping amenities or to take some friends and family to a different area that they otherwise don't get to experience on a daily basis. So those options are there. Again, Redmond is an absolutely fantastic place to live. The cost of living is substantially less compared to Bend, just down the road from 15 miles. And so it really has everything that you're looking for. Every Central Oregon amenity is just minutes away from Redmond, and you have access to it just like anybody in a different city would or a different area of Central Oregon. So again, airport, fairgrounds in Redmond, great things. Just a great place to live, great place to grow up, a great place to retire, whatever it is you're doing, wherever you're at. Redmond truly is a remarkable area. We would love a chance to share more about the city of Redmond with you, show you some homes, maybe give you an understanding of what style of home is featured in communities and what's up and coming and where the city is planning on moving development over the next few years. We've got great contacts in place in Redmond. We'd love to share some of that information with you. So thank you guys for watching this video. If you're interested in learning more about the city of Redmond, please reach out to us. Our goal is to earn your trust and earn your business as it relates to your real estate needs. It starts with you, though. You have to reach out to us. You can call us, you can text us, you can email us, you can set up a Zoom meeting. It doesn't matter to us. It's just, where you're at, we want to meet you there. Our contact information is in the description below, and please like, subscribe, drop a comment in the comment section below. We want to continue providing value and good content and be one of your primary resources as you do your due diligence when learning about this area to figure out where it is you want to live when that time comes. So again, thanks for watching. My name's Ryan. I'm with eXp Realty. I appreciate the time and the support on this channel. I will plan on seeing you guys around town. If not, I will see you on the next video. Thanks again and have a great day.